It is cold. Oh God, that was frightening. I think it was still 2 hours. At first, I thought it was slightly under 2 hours, like a little bit more than halfway through the walk. I thought I was going to die from hypothermia. It was so cold and windy. And my fingers, like I started to feel like I'm familiar with kind of like the early symptoms of hypothermia from being at South Station at 9 degrees in January of 2022 without a blanket after walking down there. So I'm kind of familiar with that feeling, what happens at the early stages. So you get a little bit disoriented first, probably like angry, disoriented, worried. It seems like things are much farther away than they are. And then you start to feel like this weird rage because I think your body's in distress and it's trying to warm you up. Yeah, that was scary. Let me warm up a little bit. I got to get my liver down, so sometimes I have other things, but no, this was like frighteningly cold. I know. And because it was so windy and I'm sweaty, yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I think I usually have a better coat and I'm dressed warmer. And I don't, there was a couple years there where I wasn't sweating like this. Yeah, I don't know if it's because I just went so long off of my regime. It's probably part of it, but holy God, I'm back to like sweating bullets on my walk. So in the wintertime, it's like, it's worse in the winter, and it could be because it's evaporating in summer. But I gotta like chill out for a couple minutes, man. Whew. Take a blazing hot shower. Oh, one other thing, I gotta take the. I guess I'm having a dough. She keeps buying me doughs. Next time I'll put it in the freezer because she knows I like them. It's kind of partially risen in the refrigerator, so it should be good in a couple of hours with heat in here. And I'll probably have tuna fish unless she surprises me with something because she has a hair appointment. I figured that's probably about an hour, and then she has to go shop for her Christmas party, her and her friend to get food for their Christmas party, which is this weekend. So I figure she'll probably be back about 5 at the earliest. So I have a little bit of time to live stream. All right, let me see what's going on with this. MSC Cruises, 159. It's like 4 text messages from MSC Cruises. I already have 2 cruises to the. Yeah, nothing from Brian. You just go, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Oh, now he's gonna answer me. He says he took a shower and fell asleep at the library. Why didn't you fucking answer me last night? What were you doing yesterday afternoon and last night? So now I'm asking him if he stayed at the warming center. Let's see if he lies. It looked like he was going to answer me, and then it stopped. Yeah, it looked like he was typing, and then it went away. I guess it wasn't worth talking to me. Right, he probably doesn't want to answer me because he probably didn't fucking stay there. Oh yeah, you're a fucking husband, all right. Typing again. He had to think about whether he was going to tell me the fucking truth or not, I'm sure. It's not a trick fucking question. Your wife wants to know where your dick was last night. Tired of this fucking shit. Oh, did he watch it? Oh, what's this? Oh no, this is something else. No, this is her. I guess he did at least look it up. And he said he stayed at the warming center. I'll be like, is there any way that you can actually like say goodnight to me since you're my husband? I know it becomes this. They fucking turn you into it. No, he didn't see it. Maybe they have. I mean, in a sense, like, I would think he would just tell me this. I like to make up things in my own little fantasy world because it helps me, but the problem is when the person is not actually doing that. That's how I've ended up hurt by Brian, right? It would be like it would be interesting if it was wait until he got I him that one day caused me to not take a walk, which was true. Um, I think there might have been one other factor why I didn't take my walk, but and I think it's because that's what it was. Social Security called me, and I didn't answer the phone because I didn't know who it was. And then I called her back and was playing phone tag. I had to call her twice, and I think then she finally called me back. So it wasn't just Brian, but it was her and Brian. So yeah, I didn't take my walk that day. He didn't answer me. He didn't watch it. He might have just Googled it, and that's why it took that long. So I suggested that he watch it. The library probably has it. What's it? Wednesday, library's open till 9, and he has to leave there to stand in line for the Learning Center way before that. So yeah. Maybe watch it. It's a romantic film. Do something nice for your wife. And I also requested that he text me at night when he settles in. I mean, for fuck's sake, dude. I don't even ask him about his. Why ask? You're supposed to have a whatever the fuck. Yeah, because he doesn't need money out there other than cigarettes that are just tobacco and not fucking crack cocaine mixed in. Like, you don't need money when you live in Harvard. You get food everywhere. You don't even need a fucking SNAP card. But you could have, he will sell the SNAP food card. That's why when I met him, he didn't even have one. Sometimes I use my sleeves to keep my hands warm. Yes, sometimes. Not in that coat though. I have gloves. I didn't wear my good gloves. I had no idea it was that cold out. It's because of the wind. Yeah, it's the wind, and then I sweat when I'm walking. And this apparently does not wick or something. Like I literally became concerned. I thought I was not going to make it back here, but I'm starting to feel better now. No response. You're bored at the library, but you don't want a text message with your fucking wife. Wait, is today Thursday? It's not Wednesday, it's Thursday. The library's still open till 9. Well, because it's the warming center, it does suck. This is what sucks about being homeless. It's the same at Father Bill's because you had to be in there at 6 o'clock. You can't even enjoy fucking Christmas lights. That's why you people are fucking. I've been doing this shit for 15 years. I haven't had a fucking holiday. I'm an adult woman. I'm not a fucking game player, but yeah, some people would just. It took you that long to answer. How about if it takes me fucking 20 minutes to answer? I don't do. He's still doing that weird shit with the fucking gifts. Yeah, you just go, how would you even have a marriage with a person like that? Yeah. How would you have a marriage with a person like that? He doesn't even want to fucking talk to me. Right, you go, is there right? I should act like I'm on a fucking Tinder date at this point. Is there anything you want to ask me about myself? Right. Is there anything you want to ask me about myself? What I've been doing? Oh yeah. He did ask me where I was the first day. If I left here on the first, okay, and you showed up there on the fourth, it took you to the ninth to worry and wonder where the fuck I was. Yeah. Where is she? She didn't come back here. She hasn't been here. Do you have any idea how fucking cold it's been? Oh yeah. Oh, she's not here. How come I didn't get a frantic fucking phone call on the fourth? How come my sister didn't get a frantic fucking phone call on the fourth? Is she still there? I know she's pissed at me, but I just want to know if she's. I'm at the warming center. She's not here. He's just trying to pick a fight. Nope, none of my business, as you said. That's what I'm saying. You just go, all right, dude. Bye. Oh yeah. Then give me my fucking ring back. You get what I'm saying? This dude is a fucking cocksucker. That's why I do this shit. When did I say it was none of your business anyway? Fuck you. All right, then file for fucking divorce then. I can't fucking do this shit anymore. Fucking druggy asshole. I don't know. What do you say? Just ignore it and never fucking text him again? I guess. Just fucking don't even answer him. Fuck you, dude. I just said, okay, I'll talk to people on my vacation. You don't want to be a husband, so what's the point? Just fucking call it a day for once and for all for good. Now type something mean and then go to hi. That's all dudes doing anyways. I don't know why he called me from Bournemouth Hospital. I don't know why he texted me on Friday. I don't know why he called me on the 9th other than he wanted money because he was out of money. He's just a psychopathic asshole. He probably calls 15 people in a fucking day. Same shit. Not just me. Right. You're unhappy, and if you loved me, then you would want to talk to me. Right. He does this shit to me every time. Nope, I'm being difficult because I'm very unhappy with everything. So have fun on the cruise I paid half for. Talk to everyone. He did this shit to me a year ago when I told him his friend was hitting on me. I don't care. Fuck whoever you want. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's me. Lord knows I'm fucking. I wouldn't let you near me till we were married, but Lord knows I'm fucking. That's why he does the shit he does. You need to think. That's why he does the shit he does. He knows I'm going on the trip with my fucking sister. He doesn't realize my sister doesn't care about that shit. I was fucking married before on cruises with her. because that marriage was a don't ask, don't tell, because the dude wouldn't fucking divorce me. Not I'm a cheating whore. Clearly, he knows I'm fucked because I married someone. It's the same thing the other guy did to me. That's why he wouldn't fucking divorce me. Except then I had 6 kids, but at least I had fucking money. That's why he's such a fucking prick. He knows that I'm not going to end up screwing people. I don't do that. That is why these dudes marry us. That's why we are the wifeys and not fucking retarded people with all the baby mamas and shit. That's why. Because they know we don't do that shit. That's why they treat us the fucking way they do. That is why. They know we don't go out and retaliate and fuck their friends and shit like Alicia did. They know we don't do that. And the more they know that you're not like that, the more good you are, the worse they fucking treat you. Ask around. This dude thinks he's going to turn his wife into a fucking dominated female gorilla. No, no, no. I'm a Jew. We don't do that. I already explained it. You're going to learn how to fucking behave. Yeah, just hit back this person who's like, dude. He says he's going to attend the services if they have him. Right. Obviously, he knows I'm right in the other text. I told him, I go, I am not coming back until you cut the crap off. Nope. That's why you're off the fucking cruise. That's why you're off the cruise, dude. I am not coming back to you unless you fucking stop it. You've got to be punished for a while. I've never done this to you. No, I haven't. Remember, I was like this for like 2 weeks last year? And then because he didn't talk to me, I got worried. And then Jerry told me that Linda saw him and he looked bad, so I went and got him because I was going to Florida and he was supposed to go with me. I already took him off the cruise. He's not doing that shit this year. Nope, he's not doing that shit this year. I already took him off the cruise. His best hope is being a chance to talk to me at my mother's funeral if they have one, or maybe going to New York with me for the day. That's his best chance right now. He's not on the cruise. I already changed it to my sister's name. Her daughter already bought her excursions. He's off it. Yep, he's off it. He did it. He's going in a fucking punishment. I don't even know if putting him away for 30 days while I'm gone is even helpful. I don't know. I mean, if he's not going to cheat, then who cares if he's in a facility for 30 or 90 days? But the problem is, he's not going to want to do it unless he's got them thinking he needs a medical detox. What's he going to do the rest of the time? You don't want him around whores. What are you going to stick him in a mental hospital with fucking disgusting whores that have mania? What if they try to put him on fucking benzos and shit because they're retarded? They just did it at Bournemouth. I have a family member that's going through something. Like it's eerily the same, except it's her kid. It's not her husband. Because I've been talking to my sister and stuff. Yeah. And you just go, oh my God. Yeah. Just, oh yeah. It's, I guess I have to be grateful it's not my kid. But when you have a husband, at least you still have your husband. You still have your other children and you still have your husband to support you. But I'm sure it's got to be, I couldn't even imagine, and I'm grateful I don't have that in my life. Um, I can't really say this because I wouldn't negate people's feelings for their children, but the way that I raised my children, I think it would be so devastating for me if my child ever did something like that. I wouldn't understand how they turned out like that because it wouldn't have anything to do with my raising. Other than if you can get fucked up by staying with a man like that, that's why I wanted to get away from him. I know so much about myself and psychology. When my daughters were becoming teenagers, I knew that I had to get out of the marriage because when women are in unhappy marriages, they can become very unhappy and become a shadow of themselves, and that's what was happening to me. In order to stay married, that's why I was drinking and traveling and cavorting and smoking because, as you can see, I don't typically do that. That's why I didn't drink. I didn't have sex at all after I got away from him. Okay, like it's sort of like Nicole Brown. Like I never sorted fully out most of it, but I never sorted fully out my abuse. And I met him in college and stuff, and I wasn't sober. Yeah, sober it does not just mean abstinence from using. Sober means sober, and I wasn't sober ever in my life until 2011, 12, 13. I wasn't sober ever in my life. And then when I got involved with that female, I still had some issues. I don't really feel I have issues. I think Brian has issues. I don't think I have issues. Okay? And then Brian gets mad at himself and then he's going to be mad at me because he knows he fucked up. Okay? You're still doing exactly what we were doing. But I suggest you don't do anything super fucked up. Okay? Like, don't do something super fucked up. Just do what you're doing like I'm there. I had to do that at the beginning to cope with you fucking taking off. I went, well, I'll just pretend he's still right there next to me. Right. That I suggest you do that. Suggest that I'm still there and just pretend like I'm still there. Don't transfer me onto some other person like a fucking whore, okay? Because people do that shit too. And take your lumps. Take your lumps. You're in the fucking penalty box. You're in the doghouse. Anybody within the sound of my voice, if you know him, if you're at the warming center like Alex, I don't know if she'd ever say that, but you're in the doghouse. You're in the penalty box. Don't make it worse for yourself. She's still talking to you. Don't make it worse for yourself. You're a married man. It isn't just you go to Bournewood 57 times. You won't stop taking off from her. And then she doesn't know what you're doing. Like there's dudes that cheat that do that shit. So she's telling you you're not doing it anymore. I don't think she's ever told you that. She told you when she met you that you had to be sober to go out with her. That's what she told you in 2023. And that's why you went to Faulkner Hospital and then took off and avoided me for 10 months because you clearly weren't sober. Okay? After you asked me to marry you, I told you you have to go to a detox. I told you I wasn't going to see you anymore if you didn't go to a detox. And you went like this, like it mattered to you. And then you went and took off. And then I didn't see you for 10 months. Okay? I didn't see you for 10 months. You might have been an asshole then. I really don't think you were as much of an asshole then. I think you just, at that time, you actually just went, I could never fucking talk to her again. And then blew. It's probably what you did. Because you knew what you did. You knew what you did. That's why. You knew that what you did and you shouldn't have done it because you know that I don't do that. and you knew all the fucked up shit you were doing, and then you ended up hanging around with Charmaine, you know that shit like that happens to you. You know you can't be married and still doing that. You're in the fucking doghouse. You can't be using drugs and drinking when you're married because they cheat. They all cheat. They all cheat. It's part of being intoxicated and passing out. And why are you even doing that? You've got to make up in your head every time you're mad at me and you don't care about me. Don't make it fucking worse for yourself. Enough with the fucking benzos in particular. You got to take your fucking lumps, dude. You got a brain injury. You know, I didn't even ask you about pot. You're probably puffing away pot. You know you're killing your fucking brain. You're a husband. Why are you doing that? Just stop it. Just stay on your fucking psych meds and your CBD like you did when I was with you. I mean, seriously? And then I stepped outside the Smith Center. All right, no more. Decision time. Even the response. Nope. You said it was none of my business. You asked me where I was, and I said I don't want to tell you that. Okay? You didn't ask me fucking questions about myself and how I'm doing. I'm being an ass like you just met me because you don't talk to me like that. You should have an interest in me. I've been in Bryanville for 2.5 fucking years. Like obviously I talk my opinions at you. That's not me. That's about the fucking world and what's happened to me. How much do you actually know about me? Because most people feel some emotional connection towards me when they know me. I'm just letting you know. I've actually been told from people that know me that they actually think I was an excellent mother. I've actually been told that since you've been gone. I don't know if you know that about me or if you still made up that something had to have happened because you know your background and you still had contact with family members. Ron DeSantis, Casey DeSantis, Al Gore, the Golf Channel, Florida alimony laws, O.J. Simpson, Scott Peterson, Drew Peterson. Some men don't handle divorce well because of transference onto their mother. Okay? Clearly, the dude doesn't care if I'm dead on the ground. I birthed 6 of his children. Okay? That's a sick person. It's not something I did. But drink and go out with someone I wouldn't have went out with and then get pregnant. And then I did the best I could in the thing. So if he gets mad about why I keep saying, are you sure you're happy in the thing? That's why I wanted you to be fucking sober. That is why. I don't know if that's really I'm insecure about everything, dude, especially when you add to it by repeatedly taking off and then you say you have no interest in me. I'm sorry if that's annoying. Maybe you should have stayed in fucking couples counseling and it could have been explained to you. The second that the chick said she's not going to say anything, you're fucking useless then. I don't need you. You're fucking useless then. I've never heard of that in my life. Oh, yeah. So you just sit there and I guess it traps him into having a conversation with me. Yeah, I guess that's about all that person does. You just go, what? Oh, yeah, that's what she said. You can't talk about anything in couples counseling outside of the office. You can't talk about it with each other outside of the office, which I did stick to. He took off. He took off. Was it one session? And then I had to cancel him. You can't go by yourself. That's when he took off at Porter. I got him into fucking couples counseling. He went once, told the counsel a bunch of horse shit. I fucking broke down and was talking about PTSD from being a homeless woman. And being, the way that men treat me and that being with Brian, how he's so friendly with all these weird guys. Right. And like I was like crying and stuff too. And so you go, because he used to do it when I was with him. And I've tried to explain it to him that some of these dudes are trying to get with me. They think that you will sell me for a quarter. That's why they're doing it. I've been homeless a long time, Brian. Okay, like that's what they're doing. Okay? It's a way for them an excuse to talk to me. Like, say that you took off like that, they would come up to me talking. Like, that is the signal that you can get with me. And then they'll give you crack. They will give you crack like that guy in Orlando, and then you take off, and that means that he can have sex with me. You're prostituting me for crack. That's what these people do. Like, you would think he would know that. But anyways, maybe he didn't know that. I think to some degree he's somewhat sheltered from certain types of homelessness. Yeah, I mean, if you're hanging out with Shane in his hotel and you're hanging out with Joe at his house and Danny Boy at his fucking SRO behind the library and Colleen's, tent and shit, you might not know what it's actually like to be street homeless. You might not know that. And I do. And that's why I don't get raped because I know things. I was told by the nurse, uh, the Coalition for the Homeless or whatever used to have a nurse that worked at Father Bill's place. And I was told by her that she was highly impressed. She totally witnessed me interacting with the male sex offender. And after he walked away, she came up to me and went, "That was phenomenal." Right, because God does it. I do work well with male sex offenders. It's harder when I'm married, and my husband doesn't appreciate my job. He doesn't even go like this. I would assume he's not watching the live streams. Yeah, we'll see if he watches the movie. They all have to do it, Brian. They all have to do it. They all have to watch Hard Eyes Killer and they have to watch Dead Again. They're called chick flicks. All married, at least, and even with a girlfriend. It's called chick flicks. It's a romance. Some of them I can't stand, but I just know I saw that when I was younger. I loved that film. I suppose. I don't know if it's a secret in the film that it's about reincarnation. Yeah, it's a romance about reincarnation. There's another one. What's it called? It's not called Once Again. The one with Robert Downey Jr. and Sybil Shepherd. Remember that one? I like that one too. I can't remember the name of it. That one I think is a comedy. And then they have Maxie. Remember that with Glenn Close? That one's about reincarnation too. It's a comedy. That was a good one. All right, now I'm starting to get cold, so I got to think about taking a shower. And then, as we know, there'll be a knock on the door. No, I actually like her. I'm just teasing her, ready to go. She yells too in her apartment. Yep, I've heard her over there last year. uh, at the TV, I assume Barbara used to do it too. Um, no, I think I do have another pair of underwear. What's this thing? I haven't worn this one yet. I'd wear that over that. I'm gonna have to do laundry. Maybe tonight since it's really cold. Well, it's a bunch of old people, so I figured that the nighttime's a good time to do laundry because they don't want to go out. I don't even want to go out. All right, so let's see. That's still clean too. I'll do that. And I know I have underwear somewhere. I remember seeing it yesterday. I got this nice pink blanket from T-Mobile. Yeah, I should probably at least tell him now that I have two phones. Yeah, at least you tell the person, right? Not, I don't have their numbers anymore because I got a new phone. So you're mad I won't tell you where I am? How many times did you do that to me, Brian? Several times you did it to me. So that's not right, right? That's not nice. And no, I didn't do it to teach you a lesson. I just don't want to have any problems. I don't want to have any problems. It's kind of like last year. I don't want to have any problems, right? So we got a Christmas party, I got a cruise, and then like I told them, February, I'm on two cruises. Yeah, two cruises. I got New York City on the 30th. That's his best hope right there. After groveling that he can go to New York City for the day. Okay. And then could you imagine? I know. Are you gonna take off in New York City? I'm sure there's plenty of fucking drug addicts there too. Are you gonna conjure up a fight in New York City? Then I'm going on a cruise with my sister, and then I'm going on another cruise. I'm taking an airplane to Fort Lauderdale and taking another cruise, and I'm going to the Royal Beach Club and Perfect Day of Cocoa. Yeah, and then I'm flying back here. It'll be the end of January. And then I'm into February. What the hell would I do? Fucking homeless, freezing outside. My husband took off. I mean, really? I had the whole thing planned out. We'd both be sitting at the library right now on phones, and I'd be going 20 something days. And I'd be like, we got one of these days, we're going to have to go to the storage and find out what we're wearing and pack. Now I'm doing that with my sister. It's not like I went and smoked crack cocaine and fucked somebody. I mean, really? It's kind of like 2023 when I said, Brian, I got to tell you something. If you don't go to a detox today, I'm not going to see you anymore. Right? It's like, I'm not coming back until you stop taking off. I'm not coming back to you until you stop taking off. That's what I text him. I'm not coming back until you stop taking off. I said too, this stuff going to the hospital, going to a detox. You have to knock the crap off. You have to knock the crap off. It reminds me of when Barbara would go to the VA for angina, right? And then it was okay. And I was talking to Candy about it. And Candy goes, "You really think she was doing it on purpose?" I go, "Candy." Because I was living in Florida. And I'd be like, oh, okay. Angina, huh? Okay, because I think she'd call me from there, and then I'd go, "Oh, you guys had a fight?" I know Barbara Kent very well. Yes. That's why I don't have all this, like, sort of hatred feelings for her, especially after being up here all this time. That's kind of the bad thing of avoiding her. People like Kathy and Kathy's children and stuff, that's the bad thing about avoiding her. Because as an adult, right, observing her and then the brain illness, if you saw her and, how she was and how she was talking and how upset she was that she was losing her mind and losing the ability, like she couldn't cook an egg for Tommy and stuff. I think you'd have nothing but pity for her, right? Like, you might love her, but I don't think you'd have hatred for her and stuff anymore. It's a good way to sort of resolve things, and apparently Kathy didn't do that. Cindy told me she took Barbara there, and Kathy has dementia herself and flipped out because she still blames Barbara for everything, and she's like 65 years old, 66 years old. It's awful. No, isn't Candy 66 now? She's gonna be close to 70, and she still blames her 89-year-old dead mother on everything. It's very sad. People that just don't grow up. It affects you every day. It's your mother. It affects you every day. It really does. It affects you, how you view yourself, how you are with your children and grandchildren, your friendships. Just you can't become a whole person if you still have all that anger towards your parents. You just can't. Um, it depends. I mean, you sort of I guess you understand that they couldn't give you what you actually deserve. They couldn't give you what a child needs. And it's more sort of I guess, a settling of the grief of that rather than you're gonna fix the person. That person you could never fix, and it's clearly not something that you did. A person who was mentally ill and refused to get proper treatment, wouldn't take her medication, wouldn't go to therapy, and the people around her didn't get her help. Tom should have had her sectioned to a hospital. She clearly went into episodes. I remember it. In God we trust. Remember that told the story. And I went, "What did you say?" And she goes, "What are you doing down here?" She didn't say, "What are you doing down here?" She was down it stairs wandering around muttering. Okay, like she was altered. And then there was all this stuff, other stuff going on that we don't need to bring up again. But adult children, um, Tom just taking off, and her bringing those people home from the campground, okay, who also had problems. She brought home a group of 20-something-year-old drunks that all, and some of them were sex offenders, because she was like 40 years old. She was like 40. I'm 54. Right, she'd go into extreme manic episodes, and she was clearly delusional. I remember it from being young. And people were having her drinking and stuff. Then you can't drink when you have mania, yet when you have mental illness, especially mania. Okay, right? That's how she got that sick. Yeah, I mean, I remember her and Tom with the screaming, 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 screaming fights, and they clearly were like hitting each other and stuff. Candy was telling me more stuff that when she went to college because this came out over the last couple of years of her life. She went to college because Tom wouldn't stop talking to her and treating her like she was retarded because she was a homemaker. So she went to college to prove him wrong. That's why she did it. So that explains why she never did anything with the degree. Because she was mentally ill, Tom. He's dead too. She was mentally ill, Tom. You thought it was good to pick up an insane, like a crazed redhead that you could get into it with and make her angry, and she'd slap your face or whatever and yell at you, and you'd have rough sex. You thought it was fantastic till you started pushing out children with her. Okay? Like for real. He got her pregnant. They had a kid out of wedlock, and then he married her and they sealed the birth record. Not this guy's a superhero, victim of Barbara. Okay? Right. Just it's that wimpy, I got myself trapped in a thing, and he could never get over it. He never get over the fact that she threw him out, and it had a lot to do with their older children, right? Who and they didn't know. They're just adult teenagers. They don't know, right? And it just got all out of control. But yeah, the woman should have never got divorced. She was never meant to live by herself, especially with all those children. She wasn't competent to be doing it. And then the people helped to get out of DCF investigations too. It's all water under the bridge. Done. Everybody's an adult. We're all responsible for our own lives now. And Barbara Kent died. So let it go. Tom Kent died and Barbara Kent died. House is gone. Right. Just in terms of psychotherapy, if anybody ever wanted to know things that they didn't know, you can help explain some of it to them, like actual facts and stuff that went on, but not sort of like, what is this? And you're mad because somebody doesn't realize something, 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 right? Inquiring minds would find out. They would ask, right, Ben? Inquiring minds would ask. So you're trying to have like a childlike dominance tug of war with your wife. Okay. Who told you you cannot take off for the night. She told you that, right? Okay. So that's what's going on currently. You're in the dog house. You're in the penalty box like it's in a song. It's sort of like when we had the whole discussion about checking out other women and then he stopped doing it. Oh yeah, he stopped doing it. No, you know if they're doing it. So right, because you realize that it's hurting your wife and that something fucking wrong with you, and even that was an excuse to use. That's why he stopped doing it. It's all an excuse to use. He doesn't. You know someone for a certain amount of time. Like it's not that type of breaking in. It's not that type of breaking in. I don't think I would want a dude like that. I guess I can understand it to an extent, but I'm repelled by dudes like that. I'm repelled by that. Yeah, I don't like player dudes and stuff. Yeah. They're actually probably easier to break in because they like women that are hard to get. That's the secret if you want to nail a dog for some reason, and they like women that are hard to get. That's the issue with dogs. Right, because they expect you to be like their mother. They don't like easy to get females and then people that believe everything they say. They know they're all full of crap. Yeah. That's the issue with dogs. This is different than a dog. Yeah. This is just like a person who is like shut off emotionally. He wants you to think that he's a dog. There's no way that person's a dog, right? But he wants you to think of that sometimes. Like he's perpetually worried that I'm gonna wander off. Yeah. I don't do that. Right. You gotta think in the head why a guy would go out with something like that, and I just explained it. Like he's going to stop, but he's a perpetual fuck up, and he thinks that if he goes out with someone who, yeah, because I don't do that, he knows it. It would take 6 months for another person to court me, and he knows that. That's why, right? I don't know if it's exactly you want to be sober, but doesn't everybody want to be sober? I don't know if it's exactly you want to be sober, but you're afraid you don't want to actually open up and love someone if they're ever going to cheat on you and leave you. That's why you would go out with someone like me. And it seems weird when someone's like that drug addicted and stuff, but you go because they want stability and stuff in their life. I guess it's hard for some people. You go, even when you're sort of like explaining to them that you know what they're doing, they still sort of can't just go and just have a breakdown, just have like a complete breakdown and be like, that is what I'm doing. Yeah, like it's hard for some people to just admit that's what they're doing. Yeah. Some people just don't give a fuck, and some people just they can't stop with the I don't I don't give a fuck. They just can't stop doing it. So a person. It has to do with sobriety. It gets way, way easy. That's why when you're sober, you know, maybe not do what I did. Yeah, because it's rough. And yes, you can also get confused. You constantly have to be leery about that. And then it makes it worse. And then they get mad. They get mad. They get mad because they can see that you're not kind of acting the same. It's like it's a natural thing because you could just be some sort of a whatever, whatever. That's why you just have to go. It's almighty, but this is what I'm doing now. I'm taking a break. Last year was I'm never going through last year. And it's like this when I got up Wednesday morning and I'm sitting on that bench and that guy's screaming at me. I mean, why would God allow a guy to scream at me? It was clearly an indicator to leave. Okay. And you go, "It- because I don't want to see that he's not there. I knew that he took off Tuesday night. I knew it, but I didn't want to see that he was. And I'm not hanging around all day Wednesday like a retard, and he's not even there. He's already off doing something. I knew it, right? Because he's done it before other times, and I'm just like, he isn't even like he's not here. He's not coming back and stuff, right? I didn't want to stay there on 2 more days, and then there's still no Brian. Oh yeah, the shower, 4 o'clock. Well, the hair appointment's at 2, probably ends at 3. I'd be shocked if she's back before 5, but I probably shouldn't keep this thing running long in the shower. But that was an hour already. Um, do you use okay, yeah, sorry, I don't even know when you left those. Oh, this thing? It's my sister. She lets me borrow clothes because I didn't bring enough clothes. I don't know if that shows up on the thing. Yeah, I explained it to Brian. Yeah. No, there's people there because Brian saw it. Someone's typing there. Yeah. And then sometimes it doesn't show up on the thing for whatever reason. Just like I think that happened that John X-ray vision guy too. Most of the time I'm just talking and like I guess it's sort of like conversation with myself or God's bringing up stuff and then I'm talking about it. Most of the time it's that. I still think it would have been good for Brian to have conversations on the thing. Well, then he can watch it later, right? Or I could watch it later. I think it's good that he did the TikTok thing. He should keep doing that. I don't personally like TikTok, and isn't it only 3 minutes? Yeah. Live streaming's better, but it's hard to get them to let you live stream on your phone. And when you're homeless, when are you gonna do this? But it's better than nothing. Just it feels more natural if you're making a video, and then if it's a video, you can listen to it after. If you're just venting on your walk, then you can't listen to it after. I think sometimes it's good to listen to it after because God comes through. And if you write in a journal and write, if you forgot that one of the things that people do is they take a vow of silence, and that's for certain reasons. Not everybody has to do it, but um, and they write. Okay, so for whatever reason, talking isn't working, and I think sort of I've suggested this in some households where there's a lot of dysfunction and there's a difficulty talking, um, that everything is written instead of talking. Like if you notice when you try to talk, it's too hard for you to express your emotions, or you don't feel you have a chance to talk and take turns, that you just write it. You write back and forth to each other. Okay. Um, that's, I think, sort of more for communication skills. Whereas, um, I don't know if you really have to never talk. Okay. But you're spending a lot of time with yourself in early recovery. So there should be a constant flow of words. Okay. So because before you were using and now you're pissed. Okay. Before you were using and now you're pissed. So Brian does take a lot of medications to help uh, ease some of that off. Okay, but um, at some point, he's got to, and I told him when he's walking or whatever to talk into that phone. If he notices other people do that, he doesn't have to talk to another person, but you feel better with the phone in your hand. Okay. I'm sort of like addicted, and it's not in a bad way, that I like to do it like this because I want to listen to it after. So I didn't appreciate it when people were hiding my live streams and my videos, stopping me from live streaming, stopping me from the videos, slowing down the type on Tumblr. Okay, don't do that, right? That is like a form of torture. And I think it goes beyond someone thought that there was something wrong with me. Okay, I think the Vatican explained to you there's not something wrong with me, and maybe my therapist can give you a report, and Bournewood Hospital. Okay, like even if you don't like religion, you're not getting rid of my Catholic Church. Okay, you're not getting rid of my recovery program that's clearly been around for at least 2,000 years. You're not getting rid of my recovery program. Okay, so people wear a ring. They're supposed to be celibate, and they're not supposed to use. Okay, so bored is not an emotion. Okay, you can write, you can text, you can type on a typewriter, a keyboard. Get yourself a Twitter account. Just like I said, Facebook. Um, just type it to yourself. It's part of recovery that people have to understand that you have thoughts and opinions. Maybe don't say first and last names or at reply them so they can't see it. Okay. Um, if I don't look at other people's pages except for Brian, right? So if you happen upon someone's page and you can see that they're venting, don't read it. Okay. If you're on the friend thing, then they figure whatever, you might read it or you might not read it. Okay. But if you're a family member, don't do that. Okay. Don't troll around Facebook. Okay. Don't do it. I know sometimes people want to find out stuff about people. Right. I don't really do it except about Brian anymore. It's really mostly about Brian. I don't really do that anymore. That's why I said I sorted all that shit out because I don't live in shame. I don't live in shame. That's why I'm well. That's why I'm recovered. Okay, it's part of recovery. This year all over the internet stuff. Right, I am. Yep, I am. I'm all over the internet. Yep. That's how my life is gonna be, and this is how it stops, as you know, Brian Buchanan, is don't do fucked up shit. I'm not Howard Stern, where I'm gonna go into every facet of our private life when you're not doing fucked up shit. Okay? Right. Because I can't get sick because you do fucked up shit. Okay, so that's what I do. Okay, and some I'm not the only person. It's in a hopes that you'll stop doing fucked up shit. First of all, I think we all know you're a victim of sex abuse, so that's a common thing. Somebody's talking about something. Yeah, I mean, you can get mad if someone's like two-faced and they're saying mean, nasty things about you. I think that's a little bit different than venting and stuff. Yeah, like that's what therapists are good for. And I mentioned if you walked into AA and you realized that like your family member was there, you just turn around and leave. Okay, you wouldn't stay in an AA meeting. So if you go, oh, venting still, blue, yeah. Oh, it looks like she's talking about Brian venting, blue, right? That's I don't look at people's pages, right? I've heard a little bit of what's the word? Hub about other family members that people got mad at and won't talk to them and they're still saying fucked up shit on Facebook. That's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do. Sometimes people do it because I explained it on the walk. That's why I do stuff on the walk. Like we're all like a little bit irrational at first, so you can say, "Is it worth a discussion?" And if it's not, it's not. And then you don't let things build up. And sometimes you just be in like a whatever. That can become a habit where you become complainy about everything people do. That can become a habit. So try not to do that. Some people feel that they can't, like if you like your children, right? Some people feel like they can't just be honest when into adulthood. Like once you're an adult, where you go, um, I don't know. I wouldn't do this because it's just not a thing in my life that's sort of like worth it. I don't know if you know that she lost all of her children. Okay, so I was just making sure you knew that she lost all of her children, like a Scott Peterson, Drew Peterson thing. Okay. No, it's nothing to do with my sister, trust me. But yeah, you just other yeah, talk like yeah, I know. Like Brian mentioned it about someone, sister too. Um, okay, yeah, that's good. Yep, yep, okay. Because that's just what some people do. And some people are getting older and have a little bit of a dementia and repetitive sort of stories and talking. Yeah, so you just go, yeah, it is sort of obviously a person would have PTSD and trauma, but they also don't have it a lot like a heavy interest. They just don't. It's sort of like that. Like that's my sister, so like those are my nieces, and you call their kids because that's my sister, but like you're her friends. Okay, so yeah, it's sort of kind of like that, if that makes sense. So yeah, like I wouldn't expect my sister to never talk about her children and grandchildren, and they're like related to me. Yeah, so it's got something to do with the people, I think. Yeah, and it's just that's why I thought about it on my walk, and I don't think they watch YouTube. Yeah, you know, um, that she lost all of her children. Like it's a bunch of times. Like you just keep doing it. So I'm not in like facial expressions and body language. Like you can't sort of tell that she just doesn't have an interest in. It just seems like a lot of displaying. That's all. Like so. It could be perceived if she knew as sort of cool. Yeah, it could be. But you have to remember that some people are older and they have a little bit of the dementia. And no, my sister doesn't do that. Like she does obviously talk about her children and grandchildren, and she will have a photo once in a while, but this is kind of excessive, I noticed. But I think it's because it might be a competition with my sister. Yeah, there's always dynamics in our friendships and stuff, right? And people that you can tell are not in recovery. And it doesn't mean that they're drinking and using drugs, right? You can just tell they're not in recovery because I mentioned one of the things is being a certain age and still talking about your mother all of the time and in a very negative way. So just still not over it. So I'm grateful. Um, I'm grateful that I don't have that. Um, now, last night was a little bit difficult because, yeah, um, just tongue biting, right? And not being more tolerant of other people. But I don't really find avoidance to be good. I don't find avoidance of feelings and emotions to be good. So um, I didn't need to be distracted from just finding out that my mother died. Okay. Um, so it seems like that should make sense to a psychologist or a psychiatrist about um, if you still can't get over the fact that you hate your mother, who's apparently been dead for a decade at least. And then there's two sisters that are talking about the mother, and they clearly are sort of like resolved and can have positive things. And then there seemed to be an upset with that. So it's still bothering. Yeah, that's sort of sucks. No, I don't find my sister to be like that. Yeah, I think she really, yeah, I think that she's not really like that anymore. Yeah, so that's good. I've heard that unfortunately Kathy still is, so right, that's unfortunate for her. I'm watching Sky now, but yeah. Um, well, yeah, I went over some of it, and so yeah, I think that changes people. That definitely changes people when you resolve a lot of stuff with your mother. So yeah, I mean, if you resolve stuff with your mother, then you don't transfer it onto other people too, Brian. Remember that? I don't even know if he heard me because I think he was under the knife at the time and I didn't know it, but you go. And I had to listen to him tell it. Apparently, he said she drank, but she didn't do crack. It's something that's there's a confusion. Um, that she went in there once because again he had pneumonia. Dude, you got to stop getting pneumonia. That's probably putting scar tissue on lungs. Having pneumonia multiple times that can't be good. Anyways, that's a sure sign that you're smoking drugs too. Pneumonia. I don't think it's just laying on the ground, especially knowing he doesn't lay on the ground a lot and he doesn't do it all winter, so it's got to be from smoking drugs. Anyways, Tommy got in a thing where he kept getting a sinus infection every time he was smoking a certain drug because I was living with him at the time. That was a while ago now. It may have contributed to him at least cutting down. He just repeated sinus infection. He probably had pneumonia too. So, anyways, um, he told her it wasn't her fault. Apparently, he lied. Okay, and that was probably God talking through his brain. Because the transference onto me, where everything's my fault, and the flipping out, abandonment issues, but like doing it on purpose so that I'm never the person to just leave or something. I never said I was leaving. Right, you just clearly those were words that he didn't actually mean in his mind, right? Not in his subconscious and stuff. Maybe if I pretend I don't care about her, she will care about me. Obviously, she cares because she keeps showing up to a hospital, right? So she obviously does care, right? It's just you're 38 and a half years old and you're married. You have a wife, okay? You have a new mommy. And I don't know what's going on with her life, but it, if you had had sort of a quote unquote normal upbringing, you would know that yeah, by that time your mother is has other things going on. It doesn't mean she never sees you. Okay. Not every mother is, I don't know, maybe Nana was different. Not every mother, people, wants to be up your butt. Okay. They don't. It doesn't mean they don't love you. Some of them have stuff going on their own. Okay. Um, I'm the type of person, I'll never have grandchildren because I don't have children anymore. If I don't have a relationship with children, me, myself, I would have no attachment to children they birth. If I had given up children for adoption, I wouldn't want them to find me because it would be hard for them. Just, okay, that's good. I'm glad everything's going good. But I have no attachment to you because I gave you up for adoption. I birthed you. I'm not your mother. So, I can theorize had I had grandchildren and they came around and were, talking to me all the time, I'd go, I'm actually here to see your mother. For real. Like I can just tell. I was never big into children before I had children. I had a lot of nieces and nephews from a very young age. I don't hate children. Okay. So that's probably part of it. I never was into children. I would never be a daycare worker or a teacher. I'm just not into children like that. Like, oh, children and cute and children. I'm just not. So I loved having my children. I like my children. And then, like I said, I would have been happy with 6 adult children and maybe they had a spouse. And then we'd have dinners and holidays together and stuff. Especially as a divorcee, um, when you're remarried, if Brian decides to be an actual husband and cut the crap, then it's not as much of a burden on the children and plus, I like social friends, but a lot of women have families, right? So it would have to be like women like me, even though they have children, they're adults and they're not like gotta see them 24 hours a day, right? Like, yeah, like obviously they probably seem cute if your kid had a kid. Um, but yeah, it's almost sort of like jokingly, but you just would be like, I'm actually here to see your mother. Like, you're your mother's kid, so she really likes you. I get it because that's my kid. But yeah, to me, you know how some people seem like they're more into grandchildren than their own children? I would never be like that. Yeah, I wouldn't be like that. Yeah, I'd just be like, yep, here's now there's some bunch of grandchildren. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's just I had 6, so you would think, especially had I got to raise them till they're all adults, you just go, "Yeah, okay, now," because it messes up my life, right? Especially when you have 6 and 7 years, so everything is at the same time. So it would put a snafu in my life. After the high school graduations, the college graduations, the weddings, okay? And then we have holiday dinners and family vacations once in a while. And then what's going on? Oh no, I have knickknacks and stuff. I say the F word now because muzzle's off, and now we have diapers and another swear jar and sippy cups, and I can't say fuck. Okay, well, I guess those are the rules at your house and not mine, right? Babysitting, not a lot. Yeah, not a lot. Um, Maybe go over, make cookies, I guess. But I mean, I'm like this, okay? And I know myself, I'm just being honest, it's not a right or wrong. I finally was getting to the point where I could actually cook something and use my kitchen because my children were getting older. Yeah, I'm bad like that. That's what grandmothers are for. Some of them, not me. Maybe had I had, like, she's dead now. His mother died and he never told me. Okay. But you go, oh, yeah, isn't this fantastic? And now I'm going to teach. Like, now you want to make cookies again because you have grandchildren? No, that's not me. I want to make cookies now because I don't have children anymore. That would be me. Right. Now it's my time where I have a kitchen and I can cook and I can make cookies and I can do whatever I want in my place. Because my whole life previous to that, okay, was a husband and children. That was it. I gave my all. Right. So I would appreciate if Brian would decide exactly what he's doing because I wanted to have time in my life to have an actual husband that I want to be married to and I love. That would be fantastic before we all die from cancer, obviously. So and then I would love to have housing. Someone can donate me a house. That house is still for sale. Um, I don't know what the fuck this is, where we're giving $150,000 to a community center, and the Blessed Virgin Mother is fucking street homeless. I don't know what to tell that person's family about that, but poof and good the fuck rent. I mean, I don't know what to say to that. It seemed to me almost like it was put there to enrage people. My sister said there is no senior center, it's a community center because they're mad about it. They're mad it's not just for seniors. Is that why she did a piss on everybody and called it a senior center? I'm not the person doing that to you. Yeah, piss on the Virgin Mother and then say, here's that, whatever. I'm not in the community either. Why didn't you give me a house? Anyways, trailer, something. No, I don't say piss on people. I say I wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire. Not I say piss on you. Barbara Kent would go piss on you. No, or I know I should probably. Oh, she's got them on the timer. I couldn't turn the light on when I first came in because my hands were so cold. All right. Well, I don't want to stink people out, but I think I actually dried. But I know because tonight I'm not doing light. I am gonna still take a shower, I think, but I could actually smoke beforehand because I dried while I was sitting there. But I think what I was wearing before is warmer than this. This probably isn't dry, but I have this thing for when I'm dry. I don't wear that on my walk, but it needs to be washed. I remember the last day that when I did the laundry, I could actually smell myself. I went, yeah, I better, because I started taking the walks. I went, yeah, I better do the laundry real quick and take a shower. and I never smell. It has to do with my diet, but like I usually bathe. Yeah. I don't need deodorant. I'd have to go. I'd have to go at least a day without bathing or washing my armpits or using wipes, and then do some kind of activity. It takes a while for me to smell armpit smell on myself. Yeah. If I'm walking a lot and I'm eating a lot of fat and I sweat like that, it's a different smell. It's not armpit smell and it's not BO. Yeah. I told my sister about it. I go, if if it can't dry out, if it can't dry out and it stays wet, it smells almost like chicken is cooking. Yeah, it smells like you're boiling like chicken fat or something. That's what it smells like because you're burning fat. Yeah, you're burning fat. You burn a little bit of muscle, but you're burning fat. That's why I eat so much fat. I know I'm gonna do the dough, but from now on, I'm gonna stop putting them in the freezer. It's supposed to be at the beginning of the month for a couple days. Today's the 11th. I got Brian into that. He likes the doughs. Yeah, he likes salami and he likes the doughs. He didn't answer that one. I know he's like, all right, that's Brian. He's not happy about things right now. Okay, well, every time, just you stop running off, 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 stop running off. It's almighty, right? All he's gonna do is exactly what we would do. Unfortunately, fortunately, but unfortunately, he can't access the storage. Right? I didn't throw his stuff away. He knows that. I told him. Um, he can get clothes on Wednesdays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays and Fridays. So Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays he can get clothes, just so you know. He can shower Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I know of at least there's way other places, but they bring food to Smith Center. There's a van you can call. There's a van that comes to the library, that's church. Sunday morning he can get food. Friday he can get food. Thursday and Tuesday, and then I think what days did I not say? Monday, Wednesday. Steve knows all that stuff, right? There's all these different churches that Brian and I weren't going to that you can get food from if he burnt out his old SNAP card, which he just got on the second. Clearly, that's what Mary does, right? He picks out his own food, but Mary has the card. He's allowed to use the card and go across the street and buy something and then hand the card right back to me. That's what we were doing. That's what we've always done. So when he asked for his card back, right, that was the big mistake he did, that he asked for that card back. Why would you need that card back if you weren't planning on taking off? It almost came out of my mouth. I have a power of attorney. I explained it, but something made me not say it. Yep, something made me not say it. And then I said something about not going on the cruise, and then he said he's still planning on going. You're taking off over there for no reason, and you need your EBT card. You don't make sense. That's what he said to me. He goes, I'm just gonna sleep over there and let you cool off. No, you're not. No, no, you're not. Okay, you're not sleeping right there. You actually took the fucking cardboard, so I can't sleep on it. No, you're not. Nope. Why would you need a fucking EBT card at 10:30? I think he knows he did it because we haven't even had that conversation. I think he knows he did it. Yeah, I think he knows that. He's not even going to try to say that I did something. I mean, her last will and testament, Barbara Kent. Thank you, because clearly, maybe that's why he knows that. You just go, what happened? Okay. So then you said something, well, that's pleasant. And then she goes, I don't take 15 medications to stay calm or whatever. And he goes, well, maybe you should. And she goes, maybe you should go fuck yourself, right? That's not when he takes off. Right. He figured everything, whatever, right? And I couldn't get it out of my head for some reason. Right. And I wasn't like blasting mad either. I figured we would just have a little conversation and then just go sleep. Right. You go, wait a minute, Brian. You're accusing me of you can't do anything wrong. Okay. I can't even talk. And you're just, everything's over. Everything's over. The marriage is over. And then you take off. Yeah. He did say, Beaver, you should be careful about what you're doing right now. Everything is, I'm going to regret something. Yeah. Everything is, I'm going to regret something. He's always saying that to me. And then we start walking towards the library and he takes off. Why'd you do that? And the discussion was whether or not he could go to my sister's. And he could see that I didn't text her because he didn't want me to text my sister and tell her. And guess what, Brian? She never even got the text. She never even got the text. She didn't know till I got here. Her friend picked me up at the train station. She didn't know either. And then when I got here, she walks out and goes, "Where's Brian?" She never got the text. She didn't even know you weren't coming. Even though I was at the hotel, she didn't know you weren't coming. Yeah. So anyway, that's a little bit weird, right? Anyways, what the heck was I gonna say? I don't text her, okay? And then we're walking to the library, like I can't even have a quote unquote fight with you or something. It's like we can't even have a fight or an argument. You're gonna take off. Who's this? Oh, this is her. Sorry, I don't mean it like that. I'm just I don't like stop talking, but